Man, oh man, what is goody? Yesterday, did we have a good one? Sheesh! I mean, hey, listen, when I wear underwear, I only wear Fenty. Shout out Rihanna, Riri. When Fat Joe wears underwear, show the woman your name on it. I only wear Fenty. Sheesh. Savage Fenty. Riri, we love you. We love you. When I want silk boxers on with my name on it, only Savage Fenty. What's good, y'all? Ciroc in the building, a much finer vodka. Shout out to Revolt TV every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Woo! We too lit yesterday. The one and only Busta Rhymes. That was one of the most incredible interviews. Not just because I had something to do with it, that I had ever seen in hip-hop history. I went back today because I usually wait till the next day to watch it. It was so many gems on that interview that I was like, Jesus Christ, from the Dallas Austin to the Tupac, to Biggie used to sell the weed at the high school, to the battle with Jay-Z that did. I mean, it was just, I don't know what this, you know, the fact when I was there with Biggie when he came in with the doo-doo-doo-doo. But doo-doo-doo-doo. What you saying, yo? Silly, when he explained how that record came about, oh God, that shit was special. Shout out Nigeria. We are with you. NSARS, apparently, and I'm not going to act like I'm the king of this subject, but apparently they are murdering violent-free protesters in Nigeria, Africa. And it's the saddest thing in the world to see these young people getting murdered over standing up for their rights. That shit is crazy. Obama came out. Obama came out today in Philly. Shout out my brother Charlie Mack. I seen Charlie Mack bring him on. Obama gave him the legendary shout out. President Obama came out there and talked like he talked. You know his shit. His talk game is, he's the oracle. His talk game is too crazy. And we needed that. Because we got some brothers out here. Gotta say I love 50 Cent, but 50 Cent, man, he definitely, he on the cover of that Post. He on the cover of that Post. Talking about he don't want to be 20 Cent. He rich as fuck already. 50 Cent, we've been reaching out to this man since this show started. Good friend of mine texts me every now and then and sends his love, but refuses to come up on the show. We're waiting on 50 Cent. Last night, Busta Rhymes called out T.I. T.I. made a public service announcement saying, no dice. He does not want in on that battle. He says, which is a legit, he says, different generations. He came in game after Busta, and Busta's a living legend, been around since back in the day, so I get it. But no dice. He is not getting it in with Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, I want to thank him so much because yesterday, I know he gave us so much last night. Shit, I never heard it. And I saw Busta Rhymes interviews. I've never heard him give us so much. Probably the most amazing interview I have done thus far in the big show. Shout out Ciroc. I keep shouting them out. Tomorrow night, there's a debate. I will not be here. I will not show up for work. Tomorrow night, it's a debate. I ask you all to tune in, especially people who still haven't voted, who's undecided. Very important. Very important. It's crazy out here, the COVID. More COVID cases than ever. Shout out to the Latin Billboard Awards. I think my guy Tempo is up for an award. Possibly a Lifetime Achievement Award. Edgar Balanga's with him. Yes, indeed. Tonight, I have a legendary guest. I have a legendary guest. Speaking of reggaeton, shout out to Panama, because it's the first place I heard reggaeton from. Shout out to Unsung. They apparently playing the Fat Joe Unsung. But yes, El General. Boom, boom, mommy, mommy. Boom, boom, mommy, mommy. And did I ever tell y'all the story about El General? El General wanted to do a song with Big Pun. I'm not going to lie to you. Even if we knew you, we was getting the bag for a feature. So El General wants to come from Big Pun. Big Pun's double platinum. He hits me up. He hits me up and says, hey, yo, Joe, I want Big Pun to do the feature. Pun knew we was charging this guy. So when I told him I'm charging him and how much, the man sent me to hell, told me to suck his yondin. He went crazy on me. If he ever catch me smacking my cheek off, I never met a hell of that after that. But yo, that boy, General is something else, boy. He went crazy on me because we asked to get paid. General, shout out to General, man. Living legend, man. He started that shit. Well, I can't tell you if he started it. That's the first song I ever heard. So I don't know. I know they got legends like Vico C. Yeah, you definitely don't know who I know. Huh. You don't know who I know. With the verses, you telling me T.I. versus Luda. Luda did it already. You know, T.I. is good with Jeezy. I mean, Busta Rhymes, man, he's in a class of his own. I mean, that's a testament to his longevity, him being around so long. You know, so it's hard to find him an opponent. Fuck around a couple of more, I might have to be Busta Rhymes' crash dummy. I mean, because ain't nobody else got the fucking catalog. No bullshit. And so the biggest show is the biggest show in the game. And you don't know who I know. Because every night for 7.5 months, we've been bringing guests on here left to right. Living legends with legacies. Even young Busta versus DMX. You know DMX already did his thing. You know DMX did it with Snoop. And so Busta Rhymes called out T.I. because T.I. sounded like he wanted to smoke with anybody. But no dice. no dice. And so tonight's guest is a serious living legend, a trendsetter, a trailblazer. I don't want to tell you who he is yet. Oh yeah, your Clark Kent, you forgot? I ain't forget Sunday school, bro. You and D Nice putting on out there every Sunday. Don't do that to yourself. Nah, man, come on, guys. You guys are wasting my time with some of these suggestions. Yeah, our brother ain't here yet. Our brother ain't here yet. Shout out to Dog in the Yard. If y'all want to get into people who've been in jail and transform their life, that Dog in the Yard is the realest shit out there. My brother Pistol Pete on YouTube. If you have time. Yes, the Don is home. If not me, the family is. Shout out to my man Dion that works with Puff over there at Revolt, over there at Rock, over there at all that. Dan Tam was good. He said, I'm on Unsung right now. It's a great episode. Yo, Dre, you was on that episode with me? Now, real talk. Did they get you to talk on there?
Yeah, with the Jewels?
No, yeah. Nah.
He did the Jewels part. No, Unsung's a different one.
Unsung, the Joe Crack story and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm never shitting you. I got him. I got him. Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, living legend, the one and only Karl Kani.
In the house, without a doubt. Doing good. How are you, Crack?
You look great, bro. You
Thank
look
you, bro.
fucking great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know, I just got blessed. Rihanna sent me a pair of Savage Fenty underwear.
Get out.
Strictly for Fat Joe with my name on it. You see the shit you started, Karl? Karl, what year did you start the clothing company, Karl Kani?
1989, straight out of Brooklyn, New York.
Wow. And Karl, there's so many things to it, right? First of all, who designed that logo? Was that really how you spelled Karl Kani?
Yeah, well, you know, Kani was a question I used to ask myself all the time. Can I do this? Can I make this happen? Can I come from the inner city and build a clothing brand that's going to spend time international? So I knew if I called myself that every day I have to answer that question, yes, I can. So I just changed the C to a K to make it a little subliminal. You feel me? So Kani was a signature I used to always do, was a doodle on a piece of paper. And one day I just came up with that. And I was like, all right, this is it right here. This is what I'm going to call myself from now on.
So you straight out of Brooklyn, right? How did you make that connection with Pac? That was when he was in New York with Stretch and all those guys. Because I think the first guy I seen rocking it like a hip hop artist of big stature was Tupac.
Yeah. Well, the connection with Tupac came through Stretch. You know, Stretch was from Queens. He used to work with my man AZ. And like Tupac was wearing my clothing all the time, so I really wanted to meet him. You know, back in the days, it was a little bit difficult to get in touch with dudes because no one had cell phones, beepers, none of that. No Facebook, no Instagram, so you had to call the record company. And I met Tupac at the Hotel Nico in Beverly Hills, and we just set it off from there. And when I met him, I just wanted to ask him about doing a clothing ad for me. And the man told me straight up, I don't charge my peoples for nothing because you black. And the man told me everything he's going to do. He visually directed the whole photo shoot within 2 minutes.
Hold up, Karl. Here on this show, the big show, we call that a Jopra moment. When we hear some shit we never heard. I never heard a motherfucking artist say he ain't charging because you black. So Tupac Shakur told you, I'll never charge you. You black?
Tupac used to wear my clothing all the time. He wore it in Keep Your Head Up video. He had a Karl Kani on there. He wore it in the MC Breed video, Gotta Get Mine, and many, many videos. He used to wear my clothing, and I never met him before in person. So I really, really wanted to meet him just to gel with him. And finally, when we got to his room at the Hotel Nico, I knocked on the door, and he says, "Come in." It was really weird because he was smoking blunt after blunt in the room. He was typing a script to a movie, and he's having a very intelligent conversation with me at the same time. But it was only one thing. He never looked at me. He never looked me in my eyes. So I didn't really know how to connect with him, but he was having a really good conversation. So finally, room service came to the room. They knocked on the door. I was like, all right, I'm going to ask him now. I said, yo, Pac, like, how much you charge me to do an ad? Then he got real quiet. He ain't say nothing, right? And I'm thinking to myself, damn, I fucked up. I shouldn't have asked him that, right? It felt like an hour. He just looked at me. He's like, yo, you black. I don't charge my people for nothing. And then he says, matter of fact, no, he says, I want one thing. I said, what? Yo, he says, he asked me, can you put Thug Life in some of the ads with me? I'm like, that's it? He's like, that's it. And then the whole ice got broken. Then the other side of Tupac came out. Then he's like, yo, I got this idea. I want to do an ad for you on Harlem with no shirt on, sitting on a basketball rim, rocking the Karl Kani, and I want to do another ad in Harlem, shooting dice with Thug Life Group. Everything he said happened straight up, just like that.
Wow, I love that. I love when you're a visionary and you could think of something and actually bring it to life. You know, I love doing that with music, with videos, with everything. Sometimes, when I hear music, I know when a record's a hot record or not, because when I hear it, I automatically see the whole video, the concept,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
If I don't see the video and the concept, I'm skeptical about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So when I hear the record, it jumps out at me and says, oh, over here by beach, by this, by Malibu, or we doing that. If I don't see it, it's because it really ain't, you know what I mean, connecting like that.
It ain't connected,
What
yeah.
was your,
sure.
So those is the wild days when Pac was getting in trouble and all that.
Yeah.
And when you was with him, you never felt like unsafe or trouble or nothing like that. It was always all good vibes, huh?
Nah, it was always good vibe. He only talked about positive things and building up the community and things like that. Pac was just a different type of dude. I don't know if you remember when Pac got shot in New York, right? He did an article in Vibe magazine when he first got out. And they asked him a question. They said, yo, Pac, like, how did you know you got shot? How did you feel when you got shot? And he said, you can quote this in the Vibe magazine article. He says, I didn't know I got shot, but I could feel the heat of the bullet pierce through my Karl Kani drawers. Just like that. He found a way to mention what he was wearing in that moment of talking about when he got shot. Like, the dude is so real beyond anything belief. And Tupac's one of the main reasons why our brand is what it is on the international market, because they worship him like a god over there in international market, Germany, Switzerland, Amsterdam. And every time you Google a picture, you see Tupac wearing Karl Kani. So it's
Also,
so much realness with that.
How do you connect with Aaliyah? Aaliyah's, she was like a big ambassador for Karl Kani too. If not, she wore it a lot.
Yeah, she wore it on her first album cover, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. We just connected with Aaliyah and her mom. She had a Karl Kani sweatshirt on her album cover. I feel like the Karl Kani brand is connected with hip hop. We all was coming up at the same time. We was all young. I felt like there was no other clothing designer before me that represented the culture, represented hip hop. You know what I mean? Because a lot of clothing designers didn't even want hip hop artists in their clothing. They felt like it may deter their original customer for their brand. And no one knew hip hop was going to be what it was. And all those brands now want to embrace themselves as hip hop. But back then, they were scared of hip hop. But that's who we knew. That's who we grew up with. It was all part of a street mentality. That's why hip hop and Karl Kani was like a marriage together.
I know it was you. It was Walkerwear, Cross Colors.
Yeah.
In Cross Colors, they had the black, green, and red. They was acting real pro-black, but then we found out there was some white people who owned Cross Colors. Huh?
No, that's not true. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. It was.
Right, so for years there was a hood rumor, like, yo, Cross Colors. They was like, yo, some white guys from fucking Europe or something own this shit. Break it down to me.
Nah, actually, bro, to know the real reality, Cross Colors was one of my first big breaks that I got. Because we all came out here from New York, from Brooklyn. We opened a store on Crenshaw Boulevard, 4312 Crenshaw, 2 blocks down from Nipsey Hussle store. That's where we opened a store up when we first came out here. And some gangbangers came in our store and robbed us at gunpoint, took all our sewing machines, all our product out the store. So we had two options at that point: either go back to New York with our tails in between our legs, or try to figure this out. So we ended up getting an apartment in Hollywood, start doing a mail order out of Ride On magazine. I'm taking you back with that. You know what's up with that Ride On magazine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Right on
we
it.
did an ad.
I know all about that.
Yeah, yeah. So we did an ad and Ride On, and that kept a hustle on. So 2 weeks later, Cross Colors was having a fashion show at the Palladium in Hollywood. My man AZ came to me and said, yo, you should come meet these dudes. It's two black dudes, Carl Jones and TJ Walker. So I met them, and they heard about our brand. It is like, yo, we heard about you, and they had major financing behind us. Like, yo, we put some financing behind your brand. We become partners together. So there was a major reason why the Karl Kani brand came from on a street level to come on a national level, dealing with department stores and things like that. It was through the backing of them, two black dudes. So the rumor of them being a white-owned company, that's all non-factual. That's not real at all. Not real.
Oh, that's a beautiful story, man, because I like, here on the show, I like the facts.
Yeah, this is actual facts right there, yeah.
And I can tell you one thing. The most duplicated or imitated thing you ever did with Karl Kani is the little gold pieces.
Metal plate, yeah.
Scratch all my cars up. Your shit fucked up a lot of cars, Carl. Yeah. How you come up with the little Karl Kani emblem in the back of the G?
Well, you know what happened? Yeah, you know what happened was all the bootleggers was copying our signature, the embroidered signature. I mean, every Chinese dude was copying it. We had to find a way to throw them off our back. I was like, yo, I know they're not going to invest in metal and leather to put on clothing. So we tried to figure out another supplement to kind of throw them off. So we threw them off for a minute, and that helped us establish our footwear and things like that. So we were able to put the metal plate and create a whole nother fashion destination for the brand at that time.
Wow, yo, Karl. How much, what was your biggest year? Like in clothing, like in sales? What was your biggest year, Karl Kani?
Yeah. Honestly, my brand never achieved the numbers the way like Fat Farm and Sean John and Rockaway. I think those guys hit numbers like 200-300 million. We never did those numbers. My brand always like a steady, even Steven. 50 to 75 mil a year, steady. But we're doing it for 30 years now. So you add the math up. You understand what I'm saying? So like sometimes we don't want to be the biggest.
Oh, so you think the brand is still working out there now, doing 75 a year?
Internationally, we are. We're the #1 streetwear brand, international market. I don't know if you know my partners in Europe, Snipes, with your boy DJ Khaled. Is one of the
Snipes. They got a bunch of stores.
Yeah.
They like sneaker stores all over. Khaled got some business with them.
Those are my partners. They've been my partners since 1988. We opened one of the first stores with Snipes back in Germany back then. They're all about the culture. The owner, Sven, is my man, my partner, and he's been doing a great job promoting the brand and keeping the brand stable in the European market. So we're a household name out there thanks to the culture and hip-hop.
And out here as well, I seen the resurgence. I see Absolutely. People, shout out to Snipes. They on the comments.
There you go.
Snipes in the comments, man. It's a big, and Snipes is like really taking over the U.S. It was European, and now I go to like random stores that I knew for years, and they be like, yeah, Snipes owns us now. I was like, yo, Snipes is buying everything.
They're beasts, and I thought the best person they could align with was DJ Khaled, to have him like a arterial manager for the stores and visual director for the store. I thought it was really awesome to connect with the culture through Khaled and to bring the brand here to the United States as well. So we're just bringing the European culture back here to the United States right now.
Well, that's definitely a good thing, man. They're good people, great people. I remember hearing these stories about this legendary big Karl Kani house, a mansion we used to throw legendary parties in this motherfucker. Like, where was this mansion at in LA? And tell me about one of the most legendary parties you threw in there.
The house was it was 2965 Laurel Canyon. It was right off of Laurel Canyon and Mulholland. And, we had a good time. We was very young. We was trying to get it. We was 22, 23 years old, just building our business. We were extremely focused. I mean, we used to have a lot of late nights, but one thing about us, even if we party hard, comes 8 o'clock the next morning, he's back on our grind again. You know, the hustle never stopped. You know, so party and all that is good. But you gotta stay focused on your goals. And I think that's a lot of times people get thrown off. You can never be achieved and feel like you're successful, because I think that's the end of the road right there. You always gotta stay hungry. That's always been our motto for 30 years straight.
And so when you see other brands come up, Fubu, Sean John, Rockaware, did you ever feel like, damn, I started this shit, like, and not everybody in this motherfucker?
Now, I'll be honest with you, you know, honestly, Joe, like when we first started, obviously we was the first ones, because before Karl Kani, there was none. There's no other streetwear brand could ever tell you they started streetwear before Karl Kani. It's just not factual. It's not what it is, because we weren't really sure what we were doing at the beginning. We were just trying to figure it out. You know, I'll tell you a brief story. I was born in Costa Rica, came to the United States when I was 3 years old. My dad's from Panama. He used to get his clothes made by a tailor. So that's what kind of got me into clothing. I used to watch my dad make his own clothing. So growing up in Flatbush in East New York, I used to start making my own clothing. And people's like, "Oh, where'd you get that from? Where'd you get it from?" So you know how we are. We don't give up our secrets, right? I was like, "Yo, if you want one, I'll make you one." You know, everybody was hustling back then. So I used to have all the hustlers giving me cash to make the outfits I had on. The most important day, though, Joe, give you a secret. I was sitting in the park one day. This is like 1988. And I was bragging to these girls, telling them I made these clothes for this dude. He was a big dude in the project. His name is Joe. They said, "Tell him to come over here then." He comes over. She's like, "Who made that jacket for you?" He was like, "Carl made it. Why, what's up?" She said, "Can I see it?" She starts looking at his jacket. She's like, "Yeah, if Carl made it, how come his name ain't on it then?" That's when it hit me. I need to put my name on the clothing. I was just making clothes with no name and no label, nothing, none of that. I wasn't thinking about branding.
This is another Joker moment. That's when it hit you. Yo, I gotta put my name on this.
Yeah, because she was being a smart lady.
Cool.
She was so right. I didn't own that clothing. I didn't own it. My name wasn't on it. When she said that, I went home and I started thinking of what should I call my brand name. I was like, I wanted to be like Tommy Hilfiger. I wanted to be like Calvin Klein. I wanted to be like Giorgio Armani. Those are the brands we was wearing. I was like, all right, Carl Williams, didn't really have a ring to it. Kani, Karl Kani. And that's how streetwear was started, right there in the streets of Brooklyn, New York. And that's all factual right there.
Yo, that's crazy. But I heard you just say, I never knew you was, so you half Latino, half black? You from Costa Rica?
Well, my family, my mother, my great-grandmother is from Jamaica, and a lot of Jamaicans migrated to Costa Rica. So my mother was born in Costa Rica, you know, dark-skinned Costa Rican, and my dad's from Panama. So everybody in my family speaks fluent Spanish. So we came to the United States when I was 3 years old, and my dad started Americanizing the family. He only spoke English to us in the house at the time because he wanted to get accustomed to the American lifestyle, things like that, American culture. So yeah, I still have a bunch of my family still in Panama and Costa Rica right now.
Man, it's so crazy because I was just talking about so streetwear, the first urban streetwear, Karl Kani made it, and you have Panamanian. And I was just saying this, the Latin billboards today and the reggaeton music, as far as I know, I hope, todo mi gente no me matan, but the first reggaeton record I ever heard hit was El General. He's from Panama. He used to have that boom, boom, mommy, mommy.
There you go.
Boom, boom, mommy, mommy.
There you
Yo,
go.
Karl,
That's what's up.
Karl, let me tell you something.
What's up?
I got an ill story with you probably don't remember.
Okay.
Check this one out. And it's ill because you told me when you first went to meet Pac, he never even looked at you.
Yeah.
You lit a light bulb in my head and I was like, oh, shit. So now I'm hanging out with you in Miami.
Yeah.
Right? And you say, this is why they call me the Forrest Gump of hip hop. Everybody come on here, they tell a story. Look, guys, I don't want to steal the shine. I don't want to, yesterday Buster gave me the most amazing interview. I backed up. I had some stories I could have said with Bus that was legendary, but I just want to be about Bus. But I got to tell you this story because this is legendary. Okay. We in Miami and you say, yo, Joe, I'm out here for a couple of days. What you doing? So we hanging out, and then you was like, yo, I'm about to go see Don King.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, Don King. And you was like, yeah. And you know, at the time, Felix Trinidad was the #1 boxer in the world.
Yeah.
And I love him, of course. He's Boricua like me. He's Puerto Rican. And I was like, oh my God, like, you know, I gotta go see Don King with you.
Right.
My Big Pun is double platinum. I'm platinum. And so I ride up with you. We go up to Palm Beach or something.
His office, yeah.
Yeah, far as fuck. But I went with you. It was Boca Raton or something.
Yeah.
It's a big building and it got the flag is Don King. He probably was the original Donald Trump. The way
He was the original one, yeah.
He got the building, right? So he's talking to you, and he got a guy playing the piano. I don't know if you remember this shit. He got a guy playing the piano. I'm sitting on the side, and he's talking to you for a long time, maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and joking with the guy on the piano. He never looked at me one time.
he did the Tupac on you.
Yeah, he did the Tupac to me. He never looked at me one time.
Right.
And then he finally looks at me and says, what do you want from me? Because if you hear, it's because you want something from me. This is Don King.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I looked at him and said, well, Mr. King, I'm Fat Joe. I'm a rapper. I'm Puerto Rican. I have an artist. His name is Big Pun. We the biggest Puerto Ricans out, I told him, right?
Yeah.
I said, you know, Trinidad is fighting De La Hoya, and we want to walk Trinidad in the ring when he fights De La Hoya. But nobody ever did that. Nobody had ever performed at a boxing match before that with a boxer. Nobody ever performed. Now it's in every fight, but that time we didn't. So he looked at me and said, yo, just leave your info there. I'll think about it. I think I'm going to get Ricky Martin. No, I swear to God. I think I'm going to get Ricky Martin to sing for Tito. So he's doing all that Don King shit.
Right.
And then the next day, my phone rings, and he was like, Fat Joe, it's Don King. I was like, what's up? He said, why you didn't tell me you double platinum? I said, I'm trying to tell you, we the biggest in the game.
Right.
And he was like, I'm going to let you guys perform and walk them in the ring, but you got to pay for your own shit. I'm not paying for no plane. I'm not paying for hotel. I'm not paying for shit.
Right, you didn't pay for nothing.
Yeah, and in my house, I still got a picture of that night. That's, to me, that's a top 3 moment of mine in my hip hop career. Thanks to you for introducing me to Don King. Because it was nothing like Tito Trinidad and Big Pun and Fat Joe doing Twins deep cover. I seen people's eyes open up. I see Jay-Z was in the crowd. Damon Dash was in the crowd. No one had ever done that. So everybody's out. And at that, me and Pun was really killing. Like we was doing the twin. He was doing the dead in the middle. They was like, what the fuck? They found these guys. And
that was crazy.
That was shout out to Antonio Tarver on the comments. Champion Antonio Tarver, you gotta come on here one day. Yeah, and after that, I became cool with Don King, Tito Trinidad. Funny shit is this Don King. I never seen nobody like this. I walked with Don King.
Different dude.
Yeah, I walked with him in the Bronx. And everybody, Spanish people that didn't even know English, black people, all they did was kept coming up to him and asking him for money. I never seen no shit like this. Like, his promotions must have been so much that he's so rich. Like, everybody just thought he was just so rich. I watched grown men come up to him, yo, Don, let me hold something. Yo, Bobby, I ain't go, all right, yo, Don King. Like, yo, he can't hide that he's rich.
Nah, he can't hide that.
Rich.
You know what? You know why he's rich, Joe? You know why he's rich?
I'm waiting for it.
He's a smart man. Let me tell you a funny story with him. So the day before that I saw him in Miami, we was at his office meeting with him on some business stuff, right? He's like, yo, y'all want to go see my house? He's like, yeah. He's like, how about we get some lunch before I go to my house? He was building like some mansion, about some 20-bedroom mansion. Crazy, right? He's like, let's get some lunch. So he gets his Benz. It's me, my man AZ, two other dudes in the car, right? We think we're about to go to a nice restaurant for lunch, go chill out with Don King, right? Don King pulls up to a Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-thru. Nigga orders a bucket of chicken, puts it in between his leg, right? He's driving the car and gives us some napkins, start passing the chicken in the car. That was lunch.
That's a joke moment. Yo, Carl, he gave y'all some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yo, this guy.
In a bucket in between his legs and passing his napkins, passing as he's driving in the car. That was lunch. But the house is fly as fuck, so I guess we enjoyed that. So it was cool.
Oh, no, I saw, you took me to his office. Don King got, you know, Mike Tyson came on here and was talking about how he beat up Don King one time and shit. He said Don
That's
King.
possible.
He said Don King ain't have his money yet to smack him up a couple of times. Yeah. Don King, man, that motherfucker, man, he had the game for a long time.
Yeah.
He had the game for a long time.
Definitely.
What you up to these days, Carl? Are you gonna do a documentary? Because I seen this beautiful documentary about Misa, Dapper Dan, and I think it was April Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fire. And I didn't understand why you maybe 5001. Like, I mean, I wanted to see some other designers in there, especially you.
Yeah.
Are you working on a movie? Are you working on a documentary or series?
Well, I know you know my man Frenchie, who works with Mike Tyson. He's the one that connected us together for this event right here. Frenchie's actually working on a documentary right now for Karl Kani. It's going to be a documentary unlike what you've ever seen before. We're going to tell the real of how streetwear originally really started and how we took an idea from the Brooklyn projects and touched the world. Just a thought. And I tell people all the time, sometimes the best things in life is something that's free. And what's free is thought. You feel me? Imagine you have to pay to think, right? Thought is free. Because when you're young and you're from the inner city, you got your brain, you have no fear. You don't feel you can't accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, failure was never an option with us. We talking about Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Donna Karan. We felt like we're going to dominate them. We got the streets. We got hip hop. We got what they don't got. They could never get that. You know what I'm saying? So like we took that energy, was able to transcend. And I tell people all the time, it takes one person that looks like you, that you can relate to achieve success on a certain level to make you feel like if he could do it, I could do it. And that's what we did with fashion. We opened the doors up for so many people to make it feel like if that dude Karl Kani from Brooklyn can become successful in fashion, I want to be just like him. And that's what the whole thing of Karl Kani. So Sean John Rockaway, Fubu, Fappo, that was never our model to compete with them because that's not the competition. The competition was the big dogs, the Tommy Hilfigers and the Ralph Lauren, because they own all the floor space in the department store. So they can make it seem like we're competing against each other, but we're not competing against nothing unless you have that floor space. We need that floor space from retailers to really dominate this business. Now things are different because it's online shopping. Back then, if you wasn't in a retailer, you ain't making no money. You understand what I'm saying? So like when Macy's got a 20,000 square foot, they've given Tommy, Ralph, and Calvin 19,000. What's really left for everybody else? You understand? So that's what we have to break those barriers and show people that we could transcend time and build a culture that's gonna be successful over a period of time. So I think it's more beneficial if a lot of urban brands are successful at the same time, so we can all dominate together and go against the real enemy.
You know, what do you think about guys like Louis and Balenciaga and all that? Just their brand looks like they switched it to urban. Like over these last 2-3 years, you know, when they started jacking the Dapper Dan looks, and then they collaborated with Dap, and that was a beautiful thing. But now it seems like they're urban brands to me. You know, what do you think about that?
You know, to me, it's like this. I feel like everyone has an option and the decisions to determine what brands they want to wear. What Louis does, what Tommy does, what any of those brands do, that's their business. Well, what I feel is more important to us as the culture, we don't lose our culture to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always got to be stay connected to the streets. Always got to stay connected to hip hop. You know what I mean? Because once that happens, then us as a people, we can grow together. Now, the fact that they did a deal with Dapper Dan, great for Dapper Dan. You know what I'm saying? Because he helped build that culture for Gucci. So I'm glad that they did a deal with them. And I want to see other designers get the same opportunity just like them because they have the financing behind them. Karl Kani would not be what it is today if Cross Colors didn't put that money behind us. Because you're not talking about a million or 2 million. You need millions with a big 2 S's, 3 S's behind it to survive in this business. Because in this business, one bad season, you could be out of business. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be able to back it up with successful money to be able to build your business. So if they're going to build up black designers, we're good.
You know, I've been shopping at Dap since I was 14. And I heard him one day on an interview, and I understood exactly what he was saying. He was like, you know, you know, I believe it was Charlemagne, and Charlemagne was telling him, yo, why you can't just be an independently owned black business? Why you can't this and that? He said, yo, man, they buying my shit all over the world. Don't fuck up my shit now. Gucci got the infrastructure. They got the money behind it. They putting it all around the world. Don't fuck up what I got going on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You just wanted to be 1,000,000% pro-black. He said, let me do what I got to do, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
And you know his story. He was doing the clothes. They put him in jail for the shit. Then when he came out, they was jacking his swag. You know, it's almost like that movie where you see Catch Me If You Can. You know that shit with Leonardo DiCaprio where he was making the counterfeit money?
I saw that. Yeah,
working
exactly.
For the feds?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Yeah. That shit is crazy. So, yo, Karl, man, I appreciate you coming on here. When y'all do the documentary, give me a little 1 minute of fame. I want to talk about your shit. How can we
Can I say something, Joe?
It's online and available at all Snipe stores? Yeah,
well, you know, it's at karlkani.com. The whole collection is on there. Also available at Snipes. And I want to just give you and your whole crew Terror Squad love, because you know Big Pun representing Karl Kani, one of his songs. He talking about Range Rovers. He kind of flipped Range Rovers.
Hydraulic slide, repping 1,000, me and 1,000.
What made him do that? What made him do that? What made him do that?
I don't know, man. Pun was a genius, man, Karl. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to explain it to you. He's so intellectual that now I listen to his music now and I still catch new gems.
Yeah.
And be like, damn. And you know, Karl Kani, 3-wheeled hydraulic slide, repping the house and repping the house like the Wu doing Shaolin. Like, you know, he was just a genius. He was born for it. You know, he was just born. You know, if God was giving out jobs when everybody was born and they said, Karl Kani, designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big Pun, MC. Like, Fat
Joe, man, on this, I would tell you that it's the power of hip-hop is what helped Karl Kani successful throughout the years. Nas, Jay-Z, Pac, Diddy, Dr. Dre, Snoop. The list goes on and on and on. All the support that we've gotten from all the icons of hip hop.
We love you, my brother. You're an icon in the game. You're a living legend. We love you. Shout out to Tyson Beckford was here last week.
He rocked my stuff. He was one of the first models on the runway for Karl Kani before even Polo.
Because Tyson's my guy from the Bronx. Tell me how you got with Tyson, because he gave you all the credit. He gave you all the credit.
It was crazy. It was actually through June Ambrose. You know June Ambrose?
Oh, yes.
June Ambrose used to work for me. She ran all my marketing for us back in the days. Her and Eric and Roger. They ran all my marketing before there was even stylists. June was the first original stylist. She brought so much to the game for Karl Kani. And she's the one who got Tyson to rock for us in Macy's on 34th Street before he went to Polo. So Tyson was the first supermodel for Karl Kani. So enough love to him for even representing us to that level for sure.
Man, let me ask you something. So, Europe, the runways, the disc. Did you go out there to Milan and did you feel that everybody looking at you like, yo, that's Karl Kani?
You know, streetwear has such a big impact worldwide. It's so much bigger. If you don't travel worldwide, you don't know the impact that hip hop and this culture have there. They love us. When I say love us, they love our culture for real. They even have college courses in college about hip hop history. You know what I'm saying? Those are college courses. You got to research hip hop. So my point is this: any kid from the inner city, worldwide, you got the power. Use that knowledge you got on the streets. All you got to do is apply that to business, and you got something more than anything could ever teach you ever in life. Straight up.
Karl Kani, we love you, my brother. Thank you for coming on the Big Show. Anything you need from me, I'm here for you 1,000,000%, okay?
Thank you, bro. Joey Crack Love.
Number
Thank you.
love.
Peace.
Man, oh man, and you don't know who I know. You don't know who I know. Yo, Dre, I was thinking about you don't know who I know, like a double entendre. Like the other day I was thinking, I was like, you don't know who I know. You don't know who I know, right? So it's like, you don't know who I know, right? And then you really don't know who I know, right? I was thinking about this shit the other day. I was like, yo, you don't know who I know, and you don't know who I know. Karl Kani, Boricuas, if you listening, there would have never been Fat Joe, Big Pun in the ring with Felix Trinidad when he fought De La Hoya if it wasn't for Karl Kani taking me to Don King. Ro Parrish is on the check-in. Listen, guys, I voted yesterday. Please get out there and vote. If there's early voting in your town, vote. If you got to go the day of, go. If you're a felon and your state doesn't allow you to vote, take the old ladies and the old men with you. Help them, give them a water. Do whatever you can. You got to vote or die. Tomorrow night, shout out to Detroit is on the check-in. Well, Detroit is always a part of the show because the theme song for the show is the Jones Girls, Nights Over Egypt. And you see me shaking my ass to that. Legendary. And yes, Jeezy was calling somebody out. I'm not sure it's T.I. Jeezy was calling somebody out on his Instagram. I think he wants all the smoke for the verses. Problem is, he never said who. Remy Mafia on the check-in. Brooklyn Babe on the check-in. Tara Eddie on the check-in. Success Clothing on the check-in. Titi Barbara on the check-in. Carmencita on the check-in. Every day we are so blessed to have so many people come on here and support us. I know you could be watching a whole lot of twerking going on. You could be doing that, but you here with us. And let me tell you something. DJ Camilo on the check-in. There's so many gems and jewels on this show every night. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're taking notes because every night there's so many jewels being dropped on this show right here. This is no bullshit. We tell you from experience. We really did this shit. Every which way, we win, we lost, every which way. Shout out my brother Pretty Lou. He got something amazing going on with the DJs. Yesterday was the championship. That shit damn near looked like verses. He had an audience. The DJs went at it. Big look for Pretty Lou, the heavy hitters. Shout out to DJ Enough. He dropped a commercial, a Pepsi. We love Pepsi. A Pepsi commercial, Notorious B.I.G. would have never heard before, freestyle. And DJ Enough is on the commercial. It's an animated commercial. Fire. Fuego. B.I.G. One of the greatest to ever do it. Dre, is there anything else we should elaborate on besides that Rihanna sent me silk boxes from Savage Fenty? Let me see the box one time. Should I bring some of my new sneakers out or not? Don't do that to the people yet, right? Don't do that. I got Halloween shit, so I ain't bring out the new load that came. Wild Cherry Pepsi Friday. Wild Cherry Pepsi Fridays. Different type of thing going on out here. Hold up, let me see how we open this shit. My brother Dre, that album, he's going to LA to mix and master. Jason Joshua, that album is beyond a classic. You haven't announced the title yet, right? Don't do it. Savage Fenty, Rihanna's clothing line, and they made me underwear. I'll never wear another piece of underwear besides Savage Fenty. Hey, yeah, these guys are crazy, man. Listen, guys, I love you. Tomorrow night, the debate is going on. I'll see you Friday. I'm sure we're going to have the biggest guest in the universe. I'm not sure. Yo, Mayor, you want to see the sneakers? Then FaceTime me after. You can't see the sneakers. It's not allowed today. Maybe tomorrow I got a new 6-8 pack today. Crazy shit. Shit just coming. Shit like, oh. Now I'm fucking with you. Yo, Fleazy. Up NYC. Dykeman 207th. 158 in Broadway. Put God first. Believe in God. There's nothing without God. Put it up.
Jump the Bible paper, see how high the lie can take us through the eyes of Christ, Sean, Elijah, Jacob. I make the kind of green, a hustler dream, busting out the custard cream, pipe for custom pipes up with the busted seam, clustered green, Fort Knox and hard, you're a medallion, mocking God, even Italian, see my battalion, propped abroad. I got the squad overqualified, pulling over Karl Kani, range rover tilted, 3 wilted hydraulic slides, sparking lie in the clouds and repping my housing like the voodoo is John Wick.
Something I want to tell you.
The big show. Shout out Karl Kani. Iconic. First ever urban line. Let's get it.